So as you are ready, find a comfortable seat on your yoga mat. And you guys know I like to take a minute to settle in, so just kind of rocking around on the bottom of my sit bones, and then maybe rolling my head around a couple times or rolling my shoulders out. So any movement that calls to you this morning, anything that feels good, just little stretches, feel free to wiggle a little bit, and then eventually settle in, find stillness. So as you are ready, just close your eyes, find length in your spine, length through the back of your neck. Draw up through the crown of your head. So simply sit up as tall as you can. Soften your face, relax the muscles in your face, in your jaw. Soften your shoulders, and then be intentional with where you place your hands. So maybe you want to rest your hands in your lap, maybe you want to bring your hands to your heart, maybe one hand to heart space, one hand to belly. So whatever kind of helps you tune in. And then begin by just noticing your breath, just noticing the subtle rise and fall, the subtle expansion and contraction. And then let's take 3 big, huge breaths together. So next time you inhale, fill up as big as you can. And then hold at the very, very top in absolute fullness. And see if you can even sip in just a little bit more. Exhale, big open mouth sigh. Let it go. Do that 2 more times. So inhale, fill up. And as you fill up with breath, take up more space, not just physically, energetically. So just feel as if you get bigger. You take up more space, you expand, you inflate, hold. And then exhale, big sigh. And just soften, let it go. 1 more time. So biggest inhale you've taken all morning. And really think of waking your body up with this breath from the inside. Fill it with prana, with life force energy, all the little spaces. And then when you're ready, that big open mouth sigh, release. Now seal your lips gently and start to cultivate your ujjayi breath. So you guys are all familiar with it. In and out through your nose, gentle constriction in the back of your throat. So take a moment, just simply sitting, breathing, and connecting with your own internal rhythm, finding your own internal rhythm. So big, expansive inhales and long, strong, steady exhales all the way to empty. And then when you are ready to add some movement here, just start to move at first through your torso. So maybe you start with some seated cat-cows or just circling your upper body around. So kind of just moving through your hips, through your spine, your shoulders. And then if you want to get a little more creative, maybe you involve your arms in some way. So I like to exhale and bring my arms forward, even clasp my hands and push my palms away. And then inhale, expand through my chest, open my arms up wide. So any way you want to explore, you can get super creative and just intuitive. And then eventually we'll transition from our seat just onto hands and knees. So no rush, but when you're ready to move to hands and knees, please do so. And then we're doing the exact same thing, just exploring movement, just exploring our bodies. So I've been starting almost every single class with just some intuitive movement because I think it's the best way to get into our bodies, to inhabit our bodies with our awareness. So even close your eyes, go inward. What do you feel? So let go of how you look. For some reason, whenever we are told to move intuitively, we go straight into our heads and we feel self-conscious. So try to let go of that. Close your eyes, go inward. Nobody is watching you. You're at home, so you're safe. Just allow your body to move in whatever way feels good and just be curious. So I like to say, imagine that you just got put in this brand new body and you're trying to figure out how it works. All the different ways in which it can move. So be creative, be intuitive, be even instinctual. So if you ever watch an animal, like a four-legged creature, a cheetah or panther move, nobody tells them how to move. They just figure it out. They just feel into it. So do that same thing here with your own body. And then when you are ready, we'll eventually find our way into downward facing dog. So no rush. You can get there in your own time, and you can even transition in your own way. But eventually, downward facing dog is where we will meet up. So just in your next few breaths. And then once you're back in your down dog, explore this familiar posture. So sometimes I like to take my feet out really, really wide and kind of transfer my weight from side to side on the diagonal. I know Cam, I always watch him come up to his fingertips, and I love that because it really helps you get out of your wrists and find more engagement through your shoulders and your core. So maybe see if you can lift up to your fingertips and then feel the strength in your shoulders, feel the strength in your center, right at the middle of your body, right at your belly button. So imagine you've got a rope attached to your belly button. It's pulling up, it's tugging back. Perhaps you just want to pedal out your heels or shake your head yes or no. So wherever you want to go, just explore your down dog. Feel into it, breathe into it, create space inside your body while you are in this posture. So rather than feeling like you're cranking your body into a posture that doesn't really work for you, adjust the posture for your own body. So maybe that means you bend your knees a lot. Maybe that means you take your feet out wider, your hands out wider. So just figure out how you can be most efficient in your body, in your pose. And then make sure your breath is right there with you. So constantly just coming back to our breath. And by doing so, we're constantly bringing ourselves back into the present moment, into the here and now. Let's take one more great big inhale. And then exhale, look to the top of your mat. Step, tiptoe, or hop, forward fold. Pause in your forward fold for a moment. Bring your feet hips width distance apart or even a little bit wider. All 10 toes face forward. And then either grab opposite elbows for ragdoll pose or hands behind your head, interlace your fingers at the base of your skull. So make sure your weight is slightly forward. You don't want to rock back into your heels. So a little or big bend in your knees. Your weight is in your toes and the balls of your feet primarily. And then actively try to lift your butt up towards the sky. Still imagine you've got that rope attached to your belly button and it's pulling up towards the sky. Let your neck relax, let your head be heavy. If you feel like you can't relax your neck here, then please bend your knees a little bit more. Take about 2 more deep breaths. Feel your breath move up your spine and visualize your breath moving down the backs of your legs, creating more space, more length, just softening all the muscles. Next time you inhale, let's find our halfway lift. So spinal extension, if you want to bring your feet in a little bit closer, you're welcome to do so. Exhale, fold, bow in, and then do that one more time. Inhale, halfway up. So top of your head reaches forward, tops of your thighs press back. Try to keep the back of your neck nice and long. So gaze down, exhale, fold. And then this time, inhale, come through your halfway lift and continue to rise. Take your arms to the sky, stretch tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Flow with your breath. Inhale, high mountain pose. Exhale, slow dive. So really take your time, traction out your spine, then fold in. Inhale, lift up halfway. So lengthen, lots of length from the top of your head back to your hips. Exhale, fold, let it go. Now press into your feet, heart leads, reverse swan dive to stand. All the way up. Inhale, stretch your arms up, open up the front of your hips. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's go one more time like that. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, slow dive. Ride your breath down. No rush. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, let it go. From the press of your feet, reverse swan dive to stand. See if you can press into your feet so much that you feel the tops of your glutes pull down towards your heels as you rise. Inhale, stretch tall. Exhale, hands to hearts. Okie dokie, let's add on. Inhale, high mountain. And then exhale, just bring your palms, interlace your fingers, and bring your palms out in front of you. So your palms are pressing forward, round your spine, little bend in your knees. For a moment, just lift one shoulder up and then the other. So you're kind of switching from side to side. Breathe into your back body, your back ribs. So it's like you're doing a cat posture, but you're standing up. Press out through your palms. Move side to side. Big deep breaths. And then keep your hands as they are, so fingers stay interlaced. Inhale, rise up. Press your palms towards the ceiling. Now pause here and see if you can even press your arms back and your chest forward. So if that doesn't actually happen, just intend for it to happen. Create the action. So you're pressing your arms back, pressing your chest forward, and then notice if your belly let go. Draw navel to spine. So keep a nice neutral pelvis, tone through your low abdominals. Take one more big inhale here. See if you can keep pressing your arms back, chest forward, and then sit back into a chair pose, so weight in your heels. Now keep your chest as it is, so your chest is pressing forward, and just very gently release your arms. Reach your arms to the sky, palms face each other. So still keep that same engagement of your back body. So keep pressing your arms back, chest forward, and then belly draws in. So navel to spine lock, Uddiyana Bandha. See if you can sit a little bit lower. And then lift up your toes, spread them apart, make your feet feel really active, really alive. Take one more full round of breath, maybe sit just a little further down. Inhale, high mountain, so stretch all the way up. If you want, you can even lift to your tiptoes. And exhale, slow dive down. Maybe stay on your tiptoes as you dive. Heels on the ground, halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, plant your hands and step back to plank pose. So pause here for a moment. Spread your fingers nice and wide and really push the ground away with your arms. If you want to come to your knees to modify, please feel free. Let's take a big inhale and rock a little bit forward, so on your tippy toes. Keep that. Exhale, lower halfway down. So elbows stay stacked over your wrists. Inhale, press back up, high plank. Do that again. Exhale, little rock forward. Lower halfway. Don't let your shoulders roll forward. Don't let your belly drop. Inhale, press back up. And then exhale, same thing, but this time all the way to your belly, as slow as you can go. Inhale, Spider-Man Cobra. So hands come out nice and wide, lift to your fingertips, elbows face the sky, lift your chest up, breathe in. Exhale, twist to the right and dip your left shoulder down. Inhale, come back to center, lift your heart, tone your belly. Exhale, twist to the left, dip your right shoulder down. This should feel really nice. Go one more time to each side with your own breath, at your own pace. Just feel into your shoulders, feel into your spine, maybe even down into your hips. Eventually, an inhale will bring you back to center. Exhale to let it go. And then just rise up to hands and knees, tabletop position. So I just want you guys to play with something. So inhale, cow pose, arch your spine. So crown of your head lifts up, tailbone lifts up. Now see if you can keep this position just in your upper back. And then think of a cat pose with your lower back. So draw your belly button in and up, and almost like you're trying to round your low spine. So feel that. This is your neutral spine position. So broadness through your upper back, and then engagement through your low belly to support your low spine. See if you can keep this position. Take your right arm forward and your left leg back, spinal balance. So as you reach forward and back, don't let your belly drop and don't let your upper back round. Take one more big inhale, pull yourself apart. Exhale, lower down. Same thing, other side. So left arm forward, right leg back. Don't let your belly drop. Imagine you're still trying to find that little bit of rounding through your low back, but then your upper back stays nice and broad. Take one more inhale, reach, 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 lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale, lower down. Now keep that same position. So if you need to, you can come back into your cow pose and then play with finding that cat posture in your lower spine. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, lift your hips, downward facing dog. So as you press back into your down dog, see if you can keep your shoulders plugged into their sockets, like you're doing a cow posture with your upper back, and then navel draws towards your spine. You're not rounding your low back, but think of puffing up into your low back. Reach your sit bones really high. So it's just that whole thing we just went through. It's just a way to create deeper awareness, those little tiny micro adjustments. So if something clicked for you, awesome. If not, no big deal. Just let it go. We'll be in our downward facing dog for about 4 or 5 more breaths. If you want, you can turn it into a turbo dog. If you want, you can explore movement. If you want, you can just be still and listen to your breath. Follow the movement of your breath within you. So in downward facing dog, lots of us hyperextend through our shoulders. And if you want to watch me, I'll show you what that looks like. So if I'm hyperextending, it looks like this. A lot of people think it feels really nice, but all you're doing is pulling on tendons and ligaments. So you want to keep your shoulders slightly forward, plugged into the sockets, just like you're doing a little cow pose with your upper back. And then puff into your low back, lift your sit bones high so you're pressing back not from your shoulders, but from your heart, lifting your hips. And again, if that doesn't click for you today, no big deal. Just kind of take it in as information, let it go, and it'll come back when it needs to. Take one more big inhale into your dog pose. And then as you exhale, gaze to the top of your mat, step, tiptoe, or hop. Forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, bow and fold. Root through your feet, reverse swan dive all the way up. Inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to build our flow now. So inhale, high mountain stretch. Exhale, cactus your arms, little baby back bend. Keep your low abdominals toned to support your low spine. Inhale, arms re-extend, reach up. And then exhale, again, sit back into your chair pose. So think of pressing your arms back, pressing your chest forward. So rather than rounding and looking down, heart is lifted. Bottom tips of shoulder blades squeeze your spine. Get as low as you can. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, drinking bird. So swing your arms back, lift up to your tiptoes. So as you lift to your tiptoes, feel the strength in your core. It's helping you balance. Feel the strength in your mid and your upper back. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards your spine. Back of your neck is long, so gaze slightly down, slightly forward. Take one more round. Stay on your tiptoes if you can. Next inhale, high mountain all the way up. Possibly stay on your tiptoes, dive down. Exhale, forward fold. Heels on the ground, lift halfway. Breathe in. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back to plank. Take your vinyasa however you want. So you're welcome to add some push-ups. You're welcome to take it on your knees. Maybe you skip it all together. Any back bend variation. And then downward facing dog is where we'll meet up. So if you want to, transition from hands and knees slowly. Find that position through your upper back, through your lower back, and then take it back. So that little adjustment in down dog that I'm kind of trying to get you guys to get, it took me like 5 years to figure it out. Somebody taught me, and then 5 years later, one day I was like, oh my gosh, I finally feel it, I finally get it. So that's what yoga is. It's just little tiny adjustments, little tiny pieces of information that help you find a deeper awareness of your body, and it doesn't happen all at once. So this is your practice. Be where you're at, meet yourself there, and then just explore what's possible. Explore and be curious always. All right, from your down dog, next inhale, right leg to the sky. So as you take your right leg up, make sure you didn't just hyperextend and collapse into your shoulders. Shoulders are still really strong. Your belly button is still lifting up. Your left sit bone is lifting up. Reach through your right toes and spread them. I don't care today if you want to keep your hips square or let that right hip open. Up to you, just as long as there's lots of strength and awareness in your right leg. Take one more big inhale. And then with your exhale, right knee to your nose. Keep your hips nice and high. Stay here as you breathe in. You should be on your back, tippy toes. Push the ground away. Exhale, softly step your right foot to the top of your mat. And then this is a little bit different. We're going to go straight into our standing splits. So right foot roots, left leg lifts. So think of it as just a one-legged forward fold. I don't care if your left hip opens or if your hip stays square, just as long as there's lots of energy in your left leg, there's strength in your left leg, spread through your toes. We'll be here for about 3 more rounds, so anywhere you want to go with it. Maybe you wrap your right arm behind your right leg, maybe you plant your palms, play with little handstand hops. So your choice, your expression, just be with your posture and be with your breath. Soften through your face. Unclench your jaw. Take one more big inhale. Maybe lift your left leg higher. And then exhale, left knee to your nose. So stay balanced on your right foot. Curl into a little tiny ball. Inhale, re-extend your left leg up. And then as you exhale, step your left foot all the way to the back of your mat, but we're going to set up for a warrior 2. So left toes point to the left. Your back foot is parallel with the back edge of your mat, and then windmill your arms up. So we're just mixing it up a little bit today. I have to mix it up to keep myself entertained. So bend into your front knee, press into the outer edge of your back foot, and then think of wrapping your right butt cheek underneath you rather than letting your right butt cheek stick out behind you. Shoulders stack over hips, arms reach forward and back. Gaze over your right fingertips. Next time you breathe in, reach your right fingertips forward, so like you're trying to reach past the top edge of your mat, then tip it over. Right hand towards the ground, left arm towards the sky, side angle. You can also bring your right elbow down to your right thigh. If you take that variation, just make sure you're not putting all your weight in your right arm. You're staying strong through all parts of your body, nice and integrated. If you would like, you can reach your left arm forward. You could also wrap your left arm behind you, half bind or full bind if it's in your practice and if you feel warmed up enough for it right now. So your pose, 2 or 3 more breaths. Keep wrapping your right butt cheek underneath you. Get your right knee to track open towards your pinky toe. Keep your back leg strong, back foot rooted, inner and outer edge. Take one last breath. Stay in your legs. Next inhale, reverse warrior. So you're going to keep that bend in your front knee. Rise up, reach up, and then reach back. Maybe your left hand comes to your left hip for support. Maybe you slide your left hand down your left leg. You could even bring your left arm behind you and reach your left fingertips forward. Bend deeper into your front knee. Remember, this is a side body stretch, not a back bend. So keep your chest facing to the left rather than forward. Breathe down your right side, your right rib cage, your right waistline. See if you can create a little more space. Take one more round. Inhale, come back to your warrior two. And then exhale, just cartwheel your hands to the ground, pivot to the ball of your back foot. Keep your left hand down or your left fingertips, right arm to the sky, revolve lunge. So twist from your center, squeeze through your inner thighs. Imagine you want to pull your right hip back towards the back of your mat, but at the same time your right knee hugs towards your left armpit. So if you do that, you should really feel the twist come into your center, right underneath your ribs. Work your twist. Maybe gaze up at your right hand. Can you feel your breath? Take two more. Use your exhales to twist, twist, twist. End of your next exhale, unwind. So right hand to the ground. Inhale, right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. You can go straight into your down dog or exhale, come forward, three-legged plank, regular plank, modified plank, chaturanga, lower down. Inhale, lift your heart. Take an extra breath or two in your back bend if you would like. And then when you're ready, everybody, downward facing dog. Reconnect to your breath. Fire it back up. Okay, from your dog pose, inhale your left leg to the sky. So notice when you lifted your left leg up, did you sink into your shoulders? Can you keep your shoulders strong, plugged into their sockets? And if when I say that, you're like, I have no idea what you're even talking about, that's okay. Just take it in. Maybe one day it'll click. I know yoga is kind of like that. Sometimes teachers talk about stuff and you're like, that makes absolutely no sense to me. That's just fine. Someday, if you keep practicing, I promise it will. So press into your hands, press up into your left toes or reach through your left toes, spread them. I don't care if your hips are square, if you want to open your left hip, just as long as there's strength and power in your left leg. Take one more inhale, see if you can lift higher through your belly button, and then exhale, left knee to your nose, scoop out your belly. Stay here, take a big, huge inhale, puff up into your back body, push the ground away, and then exhale, left foot steps forward, standing splits first today. So left foot roots, right leg lifts. One-legged forward fold. Let your neck relax, head heavy. Lift your right leg as high as you can. Spread through your toes. Perhaps you wrap your left arm behind your left leg. Perhaps you play with your handstand hops. So wherever you want to go. Stay connected to your breath and just feel into your posture, what's there. So rather than letting your mind wander off, wondering what you got to do after you're done with this practice, stay here, be in your body. Take one more big inhale, see if you can lift your right leg higher, spread your toes, exhale, right knee to your nose. So stay balanced on your left foot, but bend your left knee, curl in, get small. Inhale, re-extend your right leg super high, and then exhale, step your right foot all the way to the back of your mat. You want your right toes to face to the right, so setting up for warrior two, and then as you're ready, rise up, Virabhadrasana 2. Take a moment, settle in. So maybe you gaze down at your feet, left toes face forward, right toes face to the right. front heel intersects your back arch. Shoulders stack over hips. Arms reach forward and back. Soften your face. Breathe. Next time you inhale, reach forward. So like you're trying to reach past the top edge of your mat. Then tip it over, side angle posture. So left elbow can come to your left thigh. If you take that variation, lift through your left side abdominals, like you're trying to lift your left side away from your left thigh. If you'd like, you can take it further. So left hand to the ground, right arm might reach forward, right arm might wrap behind you. Half bind or full bind if you feel like going there. Couple more rounds. Don't let your butt stick out behind you, so wrap your left butt cheek underneath you. Track your left knee open towards your pinky toe. Breathe deeply. One last round. Stay in your legs. Inhale, rise up, and take it back. Reverse your warrior. So keep that bend in your front knee. Reach through your left side. Stay open towards the right, so you're not spinning your chest to face forward. Your chest is facing to the right, and then you're breathing length into your left side. Any variation you want to take with your right arm. Couple more rounds. Keep bending into your front knee. Press into the inner and outer edge of your back foot. So back foot is powerful. It's rooted, it's grounded and strong. Next time you breathe in, come back up to your warrior two. And then as you exhale, cartwheel your hands to the ground. Pivot to the ball of your back foot. So you're in a low lunge now. Right hand stays down, left arm to the sky. Twist. Squeeze through your inner thighs. Keep your back legs strong and powerful. Imagine you want to drag your left hip back, but at the same time, left knee and shin hug towards your right armpit. Twist from your center. Feel that ringing out. Take a couple more breaths. See if you can breathe even bigger. Use your breath to work your twist. Very end of your next exhale. Left hand to the ground. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Three-legged dog. You can go straight into down dog or exhale, come forward. Vinyasa, lower down. Your variation of plank to chaturanga. Inhale to lift your heart. Feel free to take an extra couple breaths if you want. And then downward facing dog as you're ready. So take just a moment in your down dog. Reconnect to your big deep breaths. Find the strength in your arms, in your shoulders, in your core. Connect to your center, that intrinsic strength. Let's take one more big inhale. And then exhale, look to the top of your mat, step or hop, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, bow, fold. Root through your feet, heart guides all the way up. Inhale, take your arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center, and now we will flow, breath to movement. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, work your back bend, cactus your arms, low belly stay strong as you curl open. Inhale, come back to high mountain, reach. And then exhale, straight into drinking bird. So arms swing back, lift to your tiptoes, squeeze your back muscles around your spine. Inhale, high mountain, stay on your tiptoes if you can. Just play with your balance. Maybe heels are lifted as you dive down. Exhale. Set your heels down for your halfway lift. Breathe in. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back. Chaturanga, so keep that exhale going as you lower. Inhale, lift your heart. Shoulders down and back away from your ears. Exhale, lift your hips, down dog. All right, big inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, softly, right foot steps through. Now listen, inhale, standing splits. Left leg floats up, spread your left toes. Exhale, curl in, left knee to your nose. So do a little crunch. Inhale, re-extend, left leg high. Now exhale, step your left foot back, set up for warrior two. So left toes point to the left. Inhale, warrior two, rise. Exhale, side angle, reach forward, tip it over, empty out in your breath. Stay in your legs, inhale, reverse your warrior. Take it up, reach back, lengthen. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, pivot to the ball of your back foot. Inhale, right arm to the sky, revolve lunge, gaze up at your right fingertips. Exhale, bring your right hand down. Inhale, three-legged dog, so right leg high. Exhale, either down dog or come forward, chaturanga. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, lift your hips. All right, inhale, left leg reaches. Spread your toes. Use your core. Exhale, step your left foot forward ever so softly. Root into your left foot, standing splits. Breathe in, right leg lifts. Spread your toes. Exhale, curl in, right knee to your nose. Inhale, standing splits. And then exhale, right foot all the way to the back of your mat, setting up for warrior two, so right toes face to the right. Inhale, rise, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, reach forward, side angle, tip it over. Empty out. Inhale, come back up, stay in your legs, take it back to reverse. Left side body long. Exhale, windmill your arms to the ground, pivot to the ball of your back foot, low lunge. Inhale, left arm to the sky, revolve lunge. And exhale, left hand down, root through your hands. Inhale, three-legged down dog, left leg high. Straight to down dog or exhale, come forward, chaturanga. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, lift your hips. Great big inhale, fill up. Exhale, look forward, empty out, step or float. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana, breathe in. Exhale, bow, fold in. Root through your feet, lead with your heart, rise. Inhale, high mountain, big full body stretch. Exhale, hands to heart center. We've got one more round. I'm going to change it up just a little bit, so just pay attention like you always do. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, cactus your arms, work your back bend. Low abdominals stay toned to support your low back. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, drinking bird. So bend your knees, lift your tiptoes, swing your arms back. Feel the connection to center here. Inhale, high mountain. See if you can stay connected to your center. And then exhale, slow dive. Maybe you're still on your tiptoes, practicing your balance. Heels on the ground. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank, take your vinyasa or skip it. We'll see you back in down dog. Inhale, lift your heart, shoulders roll back and down. Exhale, lift your hips. All right, listen carefully. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee, right elbow, or aim even higher, more towards your armpit. Inhale, three-legged dog. And then exhale, knee to your nose, step your right foot through. Inhale, standing splits. Left leg floats up, spread your toes. Exhale, curl in, left knee to your nose, so both knees bend, get small. Inhale, standing splits. And then exhale, nice and easy, left foot to the back of your mat, set up for your warrior two, so left toes face to the left. Inhale, rise, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, side angle, reach forward, and then tip it over. Empty out in your breath. Nice job. Inhale, take it all the way up and back, reverse your warrior. Keep that bend in your front knee. Exhale, Bring your hands to the ground, cartwheel your hands down, pivot to the ball of your back foot. Inhale, right arm to the sky, revolve lunge, gaze up at your right hand. Exhale, right hand down, so plant your palms. Inhale, right leg high, three-legged dog. Now listen, pause here. Bend your right knee, open your right hip. Stay here, get this nice stretch for your hip and your groin, or option to flip your dog. Right foot comes down behind you, wild thing. Lift your heart, reach your heart forward, lift your hips. Back muscles hug around your spine. Take one more breath. End of your exhale, everybody, regular down dog. So both hands, both feet on the ground. You can stay here, walk it out, or next time you breathe in, rock forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, lift your hips. All right, inhale, left leg high. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, so that little twist. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left to left, as high as you can get on your left arm. Inhale, three-legged dog. And last one, knee to your nose, scoop out your belly, step your left foot through. Inhale, standing splits, right leg floats, spread your toes. Exhale, knee to your nose, scoop out your belly, get small, curl in. Inhale, standing splits. And then exhale, step your right foot all the way back, right toes face to the right. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 2, rise up. Exhale, side angle. Empty out in your breath. Stay in your legs. Inhale, reverse. Keep bending into your front knee. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, low lunge. So come to the ball of your back foot. Inhale, revolve lunge, left arm reaches up. Exhale, bring your left hand down, plant your hands. Inhale, three-legged dog, left leg high. Now pause here and open your left hip. So flex your toes, stack left hip on top of right. Great place to stay, or option to flip it, find your wild thing. So left toes come down behind you, left arm reaches forward, heart lifts, hips lift, breathe down into your belly. So let your front body open while your back body is nice and strong. One more round. End of your exhale, everybody, regular down dog. Take just a moment. You can stay here and walk it out. Or next inhale, come forward to your high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, lift your heart. And this time, exhale, we're gonna come into a tabletop position. So if you were still in down dog, come down to your knees. Bring your knees hips width distance apart, curl your toes under. So tuck your toes under. And then walk your hands back towards your knees. Sit your hips back on your heels. Screaming toe pose. So if you need to, you can leave your hands on the ground in front of you, just taking a little bit of weight out of your feet. Otherwise, see if you can sit back so your hips rest on your heels, hands to your heart center. Don't let your heels fall out to the sides. Keep hugging them in. Lengthen through your spine and the back of your neck. Close your eyes and just breathe here. So this is an awesome, awesome stretch for the soles of our feet, for our plantar fascia. If this does not work for you, then you do not have to take it. You can take regular hero's pose without your toes tucked under. Take this time to just reconnect to your breath. Reconnect to your body. Just notice, feel, and observe. So as that heat starts to build in your feet, can you soften around it? Can you breathe into it? Notice where you go. So if you distract yourself, or if you clench your jaw, If you tighten up through your shoulders or your neck, and see if you can just be here and soften. Take about 3 more rounds. Good job, my friends. One last big deep breath. Biggest breath you've taken all class long. You can exhale out your mouth if you want. And then let's go ahead and come forward to hands and knees. Untuck your toes and just gently tap the tops of your feet against the ground. Should feel nice. Okie dokie. We're going to stay in our tabletop position. So spread your fingers wide, push down through your palms so you feel strength in your arms and you feel strength in your shoulders. And then find your nice neutral spine. So if it helps, find your cow pose first and then cat pose with your low spine. So it's like you want to keep your upper back really, really broad, really spacious, but then make sure your belly's not dropping, so pull your belly button in and up. Keep the back of your neck long, gaze down. So even in this, what seems like a basic posture, there's tons of things you can notice. Now take your right arm forward and your left leg back. This time we're going to go into our half bow. So right arm reaches back, bend your left knee, left heel towards your left butt cheek, lift your heart, gaze forward. Even here, see if you can keep a little bit of a pulling in of navel to spine so you're still toning those low abdominals. You can stay here if you want. If it's available, grab hold of the top of your foot. Kick foot into hand, pull hand back into foot. Hug in with your inner thighs, and by doing that, you will tone your lowest, deepest abdominals. So you're not just dumping into your low back. You want to find this back bend from your mid and your upper spine. So see if you can lift and open more right in the front of your heart. Take one more round. End of your exhale, release, re-extend, breathe in, neutral spine. And then exhale, bring your right hand to the ground. Pivot on your right knee. So your right foot comes to the outside of your mat like a little kickstand. Left arm to the sky, modified side plank. So open it up. Good. Press your hips gently forward. So really squeeze through your outer right butt cheek. And then reach your left arm towards the top of your mat. Lengthen from your left fingertips back to your left toes. Perfect place to stay. Or option, bend your left knee, reach back, grab hold of your left foot. Kick foot into hand, pull hand back into foot. Little tone of your lowest, deepest abdominals to support your low back. And then from your mid and your upper spine, can you create that big back bend open through the front of your heart? Maybe turn your heart to look up at the sky. Take 2 more rounds. Good job. Make sure your breath is there. Very end of your next exhale. Release. Come back to hands and knees. And we're going to do something super fun here. You guys are going to love it. Maybe I'm being sarcastic, maybe not. I don't know. It's up to you. So come down to just your right forearm. So right forearm to the ground like you're setting up for dolphin with your right arm. And then left hand is going to scoot back. So it's about 12 inches behind your right elbow, but it's still out to the left. Did that make sense? So your right elbow is under your shoulder. I guess I should just say your left hand scoots back, so it's about 12 inches behind your left shoulder. So it's like you're doing chaturanga. It's like you're doing a push-up with your left arm. Get your shoulders so they're straight across from one another. So if I was looking at you from the front, your shoulders are even. They're straight across from each other. Notice if your left shoulder is rolling or collapsing forward, squeeze your left shoulder blades towards your spine and pull your left shoulder back and down. Now, relax your neck, curl your toes under, lift your knees, lift your hips. Dolphin strut, one arm dolphin. So really press down into the belly of your right forearm, right shoulder strong, and then try to keep just as much weight in your left arm. Keep your left shoulder strong, don't let it roll forward. Stay here, lift through your hips, or option to take your right leg to the sky. Press up with your right foot. Take 3 more deep breaths. Relax your neck. Right forearm presses down. Left shoulder is really, really strong. Hug in with your left elbow, so try not to let it go way out to the side. Take just 2 more rounds. Fullest expression, soften through your face. Exhale out your mouth if you'd like. End of your next exhale, right foot comes down, knees come down. Take a moment in child's or embryo pose. So just relax, breathe into your low back. Slow, steady Ujjayi breaths. And then in your next couple of rounds, transition back to downward facing dog. All right, friends, from your down dog, inhale, take your right leg to the sky. And exhale, pigeon pose, right shin to the top of your mat. Set your body down nice and easy. So right knee is a little bit wider than your hip towards the outer right edge of your mat. Pull right hip back, left hip forward. So like you want to get your hips straight across from one another. You want to plug the femur bones into the sockets. So we're stretching through our muscles rather than just sinking into our joints. As you're ready, start your bow. So humble pigeon. If there's a different variation that you know works better for you and you'd rather take this morning, then please feel free. Choice is always yours. We've got about 7 to 10 breaths. So we're going to be here a little bit longer. You don't have to go 200% right in the beginning. So maybe start with like 75%, and with each breath, just settle in, allow your body to go just a little further, soften just a little more. Send your breath down into your outer right hip. Just allow sensations, whether they're comfortable or uncomfortable, and just watch where you go. So where your thoughts go, where your attention goes. So a lot of times when I go into my pigeon, I'm like, okay, I'm going to start to pick at my toenail polish, or I'm going to start to distract myself so I don't have to just be present with my body. So rather than distracting yourself, which I know is so tempting because we're human, that's our nature, to distract. See if you can just stay here and be in your body. So our minds want to distract us. Our bodies want our attention, our acknowledgement. So what's going on inside? Listen to that. Go in, go all the way in, about 3 or 4 more rounds. Exhale out your mouth anytime. All right, friends, one last great big huge breath. And then slowly, so listen here, you're going to lift up Plant your palms, tuck your back toes, and kind of scoot your back knee forward so your hips lift. Then you're going to unthread your right leg, so you're in a three-legged tabletop, and give your right leg a nice little shake out. Bend your right knee, right heel towards your right butt cheek. Take a few big circles with your right knee through space. Flex your toes and imagine you've got a rolled up washcloth behind your right knee. You're trying to squeeze it and wring it out. Reverse your circles. Try to keep every other part of your body very, very still. Fullest range of motion you can find. And then eventually extend your right leg straight back. So your right hip faces down. Take your left arm straight forward. So here you are in your spinal balance. Pull navel to spine like you're trying to puff up through your low back. Now from here, we'll move into our bind, our half bow. So left arm reaches back. Bend your right knee, heel towards your glute. Lift your heart. As you lift your heart, keep drawing belly button in and up. If it's available to you, grab hold of your foot. Hug in with your inner thighs. Kick foot into hand. Pull hand back into foot. Lift your heart. Use the mobility in your mid and your upper spine. As you hug in with your inner thighs, you'll stay nice and strong through those lowest, deepest abdominals. Where's your breath? Can you breathe even bigger? Take one more round. You guys are awesome. End of your exhale. Release, re-extend. So spinal balance, neutral spine. Exhale, set your left hand down. Pivot on your left knee so left foot comes to the outside of your mat. Right arm to the sky. Modified side plank. Press your hips forward as you squeeze your outer left glute. Reach your right arm past the top edge of your mat. So lengthen from right fingertips back to right toes. Stay here if you want, or final option, bend your right knee. Reach back and grab hold of your foot. Kick foot into hand, pull hand back into foot. Keep drawing belly button towards your spine. Keep that little tone. See if you can squeeze your upper and mid back muscles around your spine. Maybe turn your heart to look up. Take 2 more rounds wherever you're at. Big, huge breaths. End of your second exhale. Release. Come back to hands and knees. And you've got one more of those super fun dolphin poses. One-arm dolphin, dolphin struts from Forest Yoga. Okay, so left forearm comes down. Your elbow is under your shoulder. And then right hand scoots back. So you're in chaturanga, or you're in a push-up with your right arm, basically. So get your shoulders straight across from each other. If somebody was looking at you from the front, your shoulders are straight across from each other. Your right shoulder is not rolling or collapsing forward. So squeeze your right shoulder blade towards your spine and kind of squeeze your right elbow in towards your ribs just a little bit. It doesn't have to be crazy. So from here, you want to relax your neck and then tuck your toes and let's go for it. Lift your hips. Feel that invisible rope pull up on your belly button. Don't let your right shoulder roll forward. If your right elbow is sticking way out, press into your thumb and your index finger and kind of squeeze your elbow in just a little more. Stay where you're at or take your left leg to the sky. 3 more breaths. Your head should not be touching the ground, so if it is, press down more into the belly of your left forearm. Left shoulder stays strong. Keep breathing. Press up with your left foot. Lift from your center. Take one last round. End of your exhale. Left foot comes down. And then bring your knees down. Child's or embryo pose. Take a little rest. Breathe all the way down into your low back. Slow, deep breath. Start transitioning back to one final down dog. When you're in your down dog, just give yourself a moment to stretch into it. Maybe play with that little shoulder adjustment. Plugging the shoulders into the sockets. Pressing back through your heart rather than your shoulders, lifting through your hips. And then as you're ready, you guys, pigeon on the left side. So left leg extends up. You can come with me or get there in your own time. Left shin to the top of your mat. So left knee is wider than your left hip. Pull left hip back, right hip forward. So find the strength and structure first, then move into your stretch. Slow, deep breaths. And again, we'll be here about 7 to 10 rounds, so we'll be here for a little while. See if you can stay here, stay present, and if you wander off, no big deal, just notice that and come back. And with each breath, just allow your body to relax a little more. So let your body know, signal to your body it's okay to relax by breathing really big, deep breaths, exhales that are a little bit bigger, a little bit longer than your inhales. Imagine you're trying to drag your left hip back towards the back of your mat. And then if you want to go even deeper as you drag your left hip back, so it doesn't actually move, it's an energetic movement. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can scoot your back knee back a little bit further. So that one is an actual movement. You're scooting your back knee back just a little bit more. Take about 4 or 5 more breaths. Exhale out your mouth anytime you'd like. Last couple rounds. Big, huge breaths. And then let's slowly find our way into our 3-legged tabletop again. So lift your upper body, plant your palms, spread your fingers wide. Scoot your back knee forward. Unthread your left leg, give it a nice little shake out, shake, shake, shake. And then bend your left knee, left heel towards your butt. Squeeze that invisible rolled up washcloth through the back of your knee, wring it out, and then keep that as you circle your left knee through space. Every other part of your body stays still. Think of puffing up into your low back so navel draws towards your spine rather than letting your belly just collapse. Reverse your circles. And extend your left leg straight back. Just give it a nice stretch. Press out through your heel or reach through your toes. Set your left knee down. And then from here, we're just going to flip over and come down onto our back. So I'm just going to kind of sit my hips over to one side and then take it all the way down. You can get onto your back in any other way. That's just one way. So come down onto your back, and when you're there, full body stretch. So arms long, legs long, pull yourself apart, and it might even feel good to reach through one arm and then the other arm, almost like you're climbing an invisible rope overhead. Take one more big, deep inhale. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, just gently draw your knees in, little rock from side to side. And then let both of your knees fall to the right. And if there's a different variation of a supine twist, if you want to straighten one or both legs, if you want to take windshield wiper variation instead, it's a little more gentle, feel free. So knees to the right, and then left arm reaches out to the left, or cactus with your left arm. Shoulders and chest square towards the sky. Gaze up or over your left shoulder, breathe down into your belly. Good job, my friends. And then in your next couple of rounds, you can stay here for a couple more breaths if you want. But just in your next 2-3 breaths, transition to the other side. So take a moment as you transition to neutralize your spine and your pelvis. So either just squeezing your knees in, giving them a great big squeeze, or a little rock from side to side. And then when you're ready, knees to the left. I like to kind of scoot my hips a little more over to the right as I let my knees fall to the left. And again, any variation you want to take on this side. Right arm extends out to the right, or cactus with your right arm. Shoulders and chest square towards the sky. Breathe. So even as we wind down, keep your big, huge, spacious breaths going just a tiny bit longer. I'm going to leave it up to you, but when you do feel pretty much even on both sides, so please don't feel like you're in a rush. When you feel pretty even on both sides with your twist, just come back to center and find a happy baby pose. So in your happy baby, rather than rounding your spine, try to neutralize your spine. Pull down through the backs of your shoulders. Have the intention of pressing your tailbone down. And then if there are any more stretches, poses, any more movements you want to take to complete your practice, then take a moment to do so. So maybe one last inversion, one last heart opener. Maybe you want to rest with your feet together, knees apart. And as you guys move through these finishing poses and eventually settle in to your final relaxation, I will share with you a reading. It's by Jeff Foster, of course. It's from his book called The Way of Rest. And it's called Sing, World, Sing. Break me open, life. Shatter my remaining defenses. You placed magnificence at the heart of my despair. You sowed volcanic strength into my vulnerability. Even my doubt vibrated with courage. Leave the familiar with no hope of return? Of course, I am not afraid. I once walked a familiar path of self-construction. I now walk a path of grace and destruction, of weeping, of birdsong, and of telling the truth. I will never turn back. So for me, that is just a poem about opening up to life, being vulnerable, stepping into the unknown, and trusting that everything will always be okay. So for these last few moments, now let your breath just be effortless. Let your body just completely relax and soften. This is where I will leave you. So hopefully if you're using my playlist, you have some nice music to relax to. For these last few moments, take as much time as you can to just simply be still, be slow, and tune in to yourself. Observe what's going on inside. So stay for as long as you can, and then you can close your practice however you would like to for yourself when you're done. So thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you again soon, I hope. Namaste.